What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we are going over the best character cards to use in Champion 1. This is where you go ahead and you start to gamble those precious crystals. Like and subscribe for more amazing mobile game content. So I'm gonna go over some of the best epic cards that I've been using and I've been kind of just dominating in Champion 1. Only spent $8 in this game and we're doing pretty well. And then towards the end of the video, make sure you stick around because I want to address a few things. I want to just go over kind of like my experiences so far with Champion 1 because I did a ton of games last night and we got a bunch of crystals. Let me back out of here. See, we got 13,000 crystals so far, so we did pretty well. All right, so just stick around for the end and I want to just go over a few different extra tips. All right, so this is my lineup for Champion 1. We have Henry, Nana, Beatrice, and Shu. This guy right here, if you have Henry, there is no reason you should not be using him. Henry is so broken in this game. It is insane. You basically don't need any other character cards that generate you marbles. He's the best one. What it does is it grants marbles in proportion to the number of structures you have. Each structure is worth 50% of the initial salary set for that channel. So you can go around the board as fast as you can, tons of doubles, and then you just get half of your cost back. It's so broken. And a big strategy that a lot of top players will do is you just want to get as many doubles as you can. So you want to take 3 moves during your turn, do it like 2 or 3 times, get around the board, buy a bunch of properties up. Don't even worry about monopolies or anything else. Just buy everything up. And then as soon as you have at least 9 or even 8 properties, so 8 points or 9 points, you're going to go ahead, you're going to use Henry, get a ton of marbles back. Then you're going to go to the shop and use your marbles to buy the card that instantly upgrades all of your properties to landmarks, and you just win at the snap of a finger that fast. It just doubles your points. So you go from 8 to 16 or 9 to 18, depending if you're on Champion 1 or Expert 2. You can also use it in Expert 2 as well. But it is such a broken card. If you have Henry, I highly recommend you use it. I got super lucky and I actually pulled him twice. I got him up to 2 stars. Next up we have is Nana. This one moves you to the shop block. And again, this is the one that kind of helps you go ahead and buy that ability to upgrade all of your properties instantly to landmarks. And you just get a ton of points. These two combined make an absolutely devastating effect. And there's also other versatility to her. You can also buy other things in the shop, like steal a property from your opponent or go ahead and do a remote buy for something if you need like a monopoly. Next up we have is Beatrice. This is one that I just pulled last night. Absolutely amazing. This is the cover character for the new gotcha banner that the game started off with. Preview 5 dice cards allows you to pick one. This is so good because this is essentially giving you a double dice card. Pretty much that's what you're always going to take. You're going to look at the 5 dice cards and whatever doubles you see, most of the time you're going to take a double, but it also gives you more versatility because if you are 5 spaces away, 6 spaces away from literally winning, you can just pop this card, see if you can snipe out a 5 or 6 or 7 dice, whatever number you need. Very strong, amazing card. It helps out so much. And the final one we have is Shu. Now, this card is another one that is insanely broken if you use it properly. I can't tell you how many games this card has won me. I've won at least over 15 matches just because of this card. Goes ahead, steals a number of marbles from your opponent based on the result of the roulette. This is going to depend on which ranking or which channel you are playing in. So the way you want to do this is you want to hold this card as long as possible, and you don't want to use it until your opponent gets into that threshold depending on what channel you're in. So example, I was playing up against somebody, I was in Champion League. They were going around the board, they were buying a bunch of stuff up. They got very low on their marbles. They had about, what was it, like 39 million marbles or something like that left. I went ahead, I popped the Shu, the roulette spun, I got 40 million stolen from them. Completely bankrupt them, took all their money, and then they had to do out a loan. They did the loan, and guess what? They ended up just losing anyway. This is such an easy win for you. Just wait until your opponent gets in a very, very low threshold of marbles, and then you pop this and you steal their marbles. And once, I'm telling you, once your opponent has like 0 marbles, they just lose. Even if they don't choose the option to go bankrupt and kind of forfeit, if they somehow take out a loan and keep trying to play or something, I'm telling you, it's so hard to come back once you have no marbles. It is so hard. The person I was going up against, they even had the opportunity to win. They just needed to get one more Monopoly and they would have won, but they had literally no marbles because I stole them all and they took out a loan. They had nothing, and they couldn't buy any more properties. They couldn't, like, it's such a devastating card that it crushes your opponent. The problem though is a lot of players tend to just use this immediately when they have it available or just randomly. You can't just use this when your opponent has a ton of marbles. You gotta wait until your opponent is down to these thresholds within that period. So champion, if they're between 20 million and 60 million, then you want to use it. If you're in expert area, between 10 and 30 million is when you want to pop it. Pro, 5 million to 15 million, so on and so forth. But it's best used in expert and champion. But this, I absolutely love this card. It is so good. It's very situational, and I tried it in champion, and it doesn't really help too much in champion because there's just too many properties and there's too many ways to win. This card is better in like the expert areas, like expert 2. It's kind of a bit better because there's not as many properties to buy and stuff is a little bit different. But what this does is it lets you remotely buy out one of your opponent's properties. So if your opponent goes ahead and let's say you got a Monopoly going and they steal one of your properties and you want to kind of steal it back for the win, then you just use this card and it will double the amount that it costs to buy it out, but you can remotely do it. So you can be anywhere on the board. You pop this, you choose any property you want to steal from your opponent and you instantly just buy it out. It does cost double the price though, so make sure you have the amount of marbles that you need, otherwise it's going to be a complete waste. So it's very situational, but it's a game winner. You know, it's basically a game winner. The other one is a Cypher. Select a color block and black out an opponent's block of the same color. This kind of works the same way as this old lady right here. If someone's trying to stop you from getting Monopoly, they land on one of your spaces, they take it, you go ahead, you black it out. If you already have 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 2, black out the one that they stole from you, and then you can land on it, not have to pay the toll, and then you can just go ahead and buy it out and then complete your Monopoly. It's another one that's decent. Aside from that, I have not unlocked these other ones, but I know that this one is pretty strong as well. I've seen a lot of champion channel players use this. Sends you to the selected fortune block to select one of 2 fortunes. So what happens is you'll see 2 fortune cards pop up and you get to choose one of them. So that can be also very, very devastating in the game depending on what you're looking at. This is another one. Watson allows you to select one of the corner blocks, teleport you to the block. This is just basically a better version of this one, the character who lets you go to the shop block, because this gives you more options. So you can go to the shop block, you can go to the train station, you can land on go. So if you do have Watson, I would use Watson over Nana, the one that I'm using right here. Same cost and everything, but it's a better version of her. The 5 Mirage installs bubbles on the block you select. This is another one that's super broken. If you have Mirage, use it. I see a ton of people use Mirage. You go ahead, you set the bubbles up on spaces that you know your opponents are trying to land on. And what it does is it captures them and it makes them stuck so that they cannot move. So it confines the opponent to the bubble, it stops their movement. And then the other one, Washington, sets the selected structure as a construction area, which automatically upgrades to a landmark at the beginning of your next turn. I don't like this card because it takes a whole turn before it goes ahead and gives you that landmark. And the problem with this is it's very counterable. I countered this all the time. Whenever my opponent uses it, you can easily just black out that area and it stops the construction. Landing on that area will stop the construction. There's just a lot of ways to completely stop it. All right, so going in Champion 1, a lot of the players were typically using the whole method of either trying to get 3 monopolies really quick. So they were choosing the monopolies that only had 2 properties in it. So 2, 4, 6. You get 6 properties, 3 monopolies, bam, you instantly win. The other one that a lot of players are typically using is buying up a bunch of random structures and then using the upgrade all of your properties to landmarks to win by the points. Those are pretty much the 2 basic ways that you gotta watch out for. And the other thing is doubles. You need to get doubles. The more times you are able to move during your turn, the better. And that's pretty much what I've noticed it has come down to. If you're able to get doubles 3, 4, 5 more times than your opponent, you basically win. I mean, nothing else almost matters at that point. It just becomes who can take more turns than the opponent, and then the character cards just kind of add. But when it comes down to it, whoever gets more doubles usually wins the match. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.